In this section, we're looking at properties of operations. And for now, you might want to reference the properties that are listed on page 368 of your textbook, both the commutative and associative properties of addition and multiplication that are explained in the key concept box, and those in the green table below. You will be expected to be able to identify properties when they're shown, and that includes the additive identity, multiplicative identity, and the multiplicative property of 0. So for example 1, we are given 4 equations and we're asked to identify the property shown in each of the statements. So with part A, we're given 5 plus y in parentheses plus 0 equals 5 plus y. So if you look at the chart, if you look at the table on the middle of page 368 of your textbook, just look for which form does this look like. Well, you're looking at 5 plus y as a quantity in and of itself because of the fact that it's in parentheses, and you're adding 0. So we could say that 5 plus y would be the A in the first example of the additive identity. So this property right here exhibited because we have a quantity plus 0 equals said quantity. That's like the first example of the additive identity. And an easy way to remember this one is that if you have something plus 0 and it equals that something, that's always going to be the additive identity. With part B, we're given x plus 18 plus y in parentheses equals x plus 18 in parentheses plus y. So if you take a close look at it, you have the parentheses here to start with, and the only difference is the order is the same, but the parentheses are on the x plus 18 in the right side of the equation. Well, anytime that you have order the same and parentheses move, that's going to be the associative property. We should additionally identify that in this case it's addition that's being shown in the equation. So this would be the associative property of addition. With part C, now this is an example of just because something has parentheses. Part A is sort of an example of that as well, but we lose the parentheses on the right side. With part C, we still have parentheses on the right side, but that doesn't mean it's the associative property. And if you take a look at this one, we have 5 times 3 in parentheses times C equals C times 5 times 3 in parentheses. So the order changed. The 5 times 3 went to the right of C and is being multiplied still. So with this one, again, we can look at, let's call A equals 5 times 3. So then we have A times C equals C times A. It's the order that's changed because what's in parentheses has not changed, and where the parentheses are has not changed either. So with this, we are looking at the commutative property, and in this case, it's multiplication. So commutative property of multiplication. With part D, we start on the left-hand side with the same thing. 5 times 3 in parentheses times C equals 5 times 3 times C, with 3 times C in the parentheses. So in this case, the parentheses moved from 5x, or 5 times 3, to 3 times C, but the order remains the same. So in this case, the order remains the same, the parentheses move, and that is again the associative property. But in this case, instead of it being addition, we're looking at multiplication. And again, reference that page in your textbook, page 368, where it goes over all of the properties you're expected to know for this section, and be sure that you know all of them. Some of it comes with practice, just doing more problems, but unfortunately in this case, it is a necessary evil to go ahead and try to memorize what each of those is as well.